Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you've been enjoying the videos that I've been doing. Today, I thought we would do a kind of smoky eye, everyday makeup look. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on right now. This is my natural skin in all of its redness. I have prepped my skin with my daily skincare routine. If you do want to see that, let me know and I can do that for you guys too. Okay, so here's clip back. We're all ready to go. As I said, I have all my skincare on, so my skin is prepped and ready to go. We're gonna start with eyes first because as a makeup artist, you always want to start with your eyes so that the fallout doesn't wreck your foundation. First, though, I am gonna start out with some eye primer. This is the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I believe, yes, in the shade Rose. So I believe that's the second shade. They do, I think, 5 different shades. So I'm just gonna apply this actually with my finger. I just find because it's the putty pack texture, it goes on better with some warmth rather than a brush. So as you can see, that kind of just evens out the skin on your eyes and it gives your eyeshadow something to stick to. Okay, so the palette I'm going to be using today is the Revolution Beauty SophX collaboration palette. If you are interested in makeup videos and you don't watch Soph Does Life, that's her YouTube channel name, you should definitely go check her out. She is super funny. She's from the UK. She does lots of different makeup and she's, yeah, just a really good makeup artist. So I definitely recommend checking her out. And this is her collaboration palette with Revolution. Okay, so I think the first shade we're gonna go into today is this guy right here. As you can see, it is my most used one. I've hit pan on that already. And these eyeshadows do not have names, so. Just kind of going along the crease and the outside corner and blending that in. Oh, the brush I'm using is one I've had for far too long. It's Still Spa Essentials. I actually don't think that they make these brushes anymore. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not really, but that's fine. And this one I've actually dented, so it's usually a round brush, but I've actually dented it, so it's got this dent in it. That was totally by accident, by the way. Last time I checked, I think you can get these brushes at Walmart, but I'm not actually sure if they make them anymore. As I say, I have had this one for longer than I care to say. Okay. That looks good. Okay, then next I think I'm gonna go in with this actually dark kind of red burgundy color right here. And just do that on the outside corner of my eyes. And for this, I'm actually using, this is a Quo brush and it's just their most recent Christmas collection. And this is the pointed crease blender. Kind of looks like that. So it's just a little smaller guy. Always tap off your eyeshadow so that you're getting less fallout. And I'm just kind of doing that a little lower. Right, kind of concentrated in the corner. This is tricky to do your eye makeup on camera. First time I've done this before. Okay, looks not bad. Okay, next shade, we're actually just gonna take this one here, which is kind of this like beige, like light brown shade, and that is probably my second most used shade. They're just like that one and the first one I showed you are super just universal shades that kind of just go with everything. And for this one, I am using a Morphe brush, which kind of just looks like this though, just a fluffier. And I'm just gonna put that on the corners and the inside portion, just as more of like a kind of transition shade, and blend that in with that darker brown and the red. As you can see, I have a little bit of fallout right there. Okay, and then I always have a fluffy brush. Something like this. This is also a Morphe brush, which again doesn't have a name, but it is much bigger, you can kind of see, and a lot fluffier. You can see there, a little fluffier. And it has nothing on it, so I just take that around the edges. Do kind of like circular motions just to blend it out, so we have no harsh lines. Okay, and I do actually want to deepen up the corners just a little bit, so I'm gonna go in with this brush here. It's just kind of like a flatter brush, and this is also a Quo brush that I've had for too long, so it doesn't have a name on it anymore. These are their old Stila brushes, the silver ones. So I'm actually just gonna go in with this shade right here, which is a lot darker than it appears on camera, but it's a dark brown. I'm actually just gonna kind of dab that on. Sorry if you can hear my neighbors, guys. I'm not sure what they're doing. There's something to do with their sleds, but they're making a bunch of noise. They're yelling, I'm not sure. Okay, so that looks like a mess right now, but then I'm actually going to go back in with this Morphe brush and blend that out. And when you're blending, you're just doing like little circular type motions to kind of get everything even. Okay, so kind of got this warm, kind of smoky eye going. Okay, now I always like to do some kind of little glitter or something in the corners just to really brighten it up. So I think we'll go in with this guy here, this kind of like cream colored sparkle. And now I find with sparkle shades or like shimmers or anything like that, it's actually better to use your finger. Yeah. You can just see how like well that went on. See what a difference the sparkle makes? Just gives it a little bit more. Don't worry if you like get it in the wrong spot or like on your nose or something, because we have no foundation on, so we can fix that after. Pretty. I'm just gonna go back in with this brush and just blend it out again. Okay, so that's just a super basic kind of smoky eye look. Once we've done the foundation and the concealer, we'll do some under the eyes too. But for right now, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna use this, and this is actually a BB cream, and this is by Marcelle. So it's their BB cream skin enhancer. I have the shade Fair because I'm super pale. As I said in one of my previous videos, I'm not super into using a heavy foundation at the moment because of having to wear a mask, and it just comes off anyways. So I've just been wearing a BB cream. I don't even know if I own any foundations right now because what's the point? Okay, so I just use, it just has like a kind of a pump tube. So I just use, sorry how dirty that was, guys. Gross. And I kind of just put like, it's about half a pump on each of those spots. Then my foundation brush, apologies again that this is dirty. I use this every day and I just haven't washed it today. So this is actually the TruBlend Professional brush. So you can see it's like really dense here. They would call this a buffing brush. So this is what I use for my foundation every day. Wow, that side's dirty. I'm so sorry. Right there. So I actually just use that in a circular kind of motion around my face. And if you're wondering about primer, face primer, I do sometimes use primer. I have not found one yet that I love, honestly. I haven't tried a ton, to be fair, but I don't know. I just haven't found one that like really actually makes that much of a difference that I feel that I need to add it to my skin every day. But if you have one that you love, specifically one, as you can see, maybe that covers redness, so a green, let me know in the comments below. I have tried a couple ones and I just, like I said, didn't love them. So let me know what your favorite primer is. I'm just gonna add a little more on this side because I feel like that side gets really red always. Not really sure why. So I'd say this foundation, or sorry, this BB cream is medium coverage, light to medium coverage, depending on how much you use. Okay, well, that didn't really do a ton, but okay, that looks pretty good. Next for concealer, if you watched the previous video, you'll know about this too. It's the Covergirl TruBlend in the shade L100 Fair, so the palest shade, of course. So I just do a little bit there and there, and pull a little bit there because I have a little blemish. And I don't always do the forehead and the chin, just lately I've started doing that. If I'm just going to work and I have to wear a mask all day, I won't do the chin or anything like that because obviously you can't see it. So again, I'm just using that same brush that I use for my foundation. I just find that it helps blend the concealer and the foundation together better if you use the same brush, because then there's not two different colors going on per se. Okay, so this is my skin. You can see pretty good coverage. My redness does show through a little bit, like my cheek is pretty red right now. But overall, good. Okay, so for powder, again, if you watched the previous video, you'll know about this too. It's the Fenty Beauty, sorry you can see the reflection, guys. Fenty Beauty powder, and this is in Butter, the shade Butter. This is just the mini size. I do have the full size. I'm just trying to work through the mini at the moment. So for powder, I just use this brush here. This is actually an Eco Tools brush. Sorry again that it's dirty. I should have cleaned my brushes for this, you guys. I'll be better, I promise. Super soft. So this actually has a bamboo handle, and this is natural fibers, which I really like. Although for some products, you do need a synthetic fiber. It just works better, like more for glitter shadows and that kind of thing. So usually for powder, I just put a little bit on. I always tap it off, put it on my forehead, my chin, and nose area. I never put it directly on my nose. I always start on my chin, because I find my chin needs more powder, but also I have a lot of dryness on my nose, so if I put powder directly on there, it actually sticks to the dryness, and then you can see it, and I pretty much just have to start all over again for my makeup. And then I take just like a little bit, and I just go right under the eyes, and then I just bring the excess down on the cheeks. I don't put powder on my cheeks because I don't feel the need to. And I don't ever bake under my under eyes either, because that's a really good way to get more creasing, which no one wants. Okay, so there's the powder. I just love the finish that gives. You can kind of see almost like a filter finish, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go back in for my under eyes. I am gonna start with, where did it go? This brush. And this is an e.l.f. brush. It's the smudge brush. You can see that there a little bit. Nope, my camera's so bad. I'll work on that, guys. But it just is like a flat kind of brush that is a little more dense. So I'm gonna take the middle shade that we did. Actually, it's the first shade, sorry. Just gonna go right under. See the difference that makes? Okay, that's perfect. We love that. And then I'll put some highlighter in the inner corners in a second when we do that. Okay, so next, we're gonna use this bad guy here. And I'm gonna start with the bronzer, which again looks red on camera, but I swear it's not, guys. And for this, I actually use an e.l.f. It's a blush brush. It's smaller than the brushes that some people might use for bronzer, but I find that I get a little out of control with my bronzer sometimes. So using a smaller, fluffier brush is more suited to me than using like something like this, which is like way bigger. That one's super soft though. But this brush is gonna break soon, so we'll find a new brush after. Okay, so I just go along the forehead. Take it right there. Love bronzer. Other side. And I try and use a light hand with my bronzer always, no matter what kind of color. Because like I said, I have been known to put a little too much bronzer on, and because I'm super pale, you can tell. Like, as you can see, actually you can really see it right now, but I have a trick that I do. So I actually go in with my foundation brush after, and I just go over that line. And I just kind of like blend it out a little more so that you can't see it as much, because no one wants tan lines. So that is the bronzer. And then I'm going to go in with the blush here. Just kind of just this peachy shade. For this one, I do use quite a big fluffy brush, and this is just the Quo Professionals powder brush. And I do actually take my blush like quite high up on my cheeks. Even though I do have round cheeks, I don't put it on the apples of my cheeks because I don't want to accentuate my cheeks anymore. So by going up more, I'm creating this kind of effect rather than that kind of effect. No one wants to look like a chipmunk. There we go. Ooh, I haven't done any eyebrows. Okay, let's do that quickly. I'm just going to throw some brow gel in them, just some clear brow gel. This is the NYX Bear With Me brow gel. Okay, so for this, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. So I go through them, and then I go through them backwards to really get it like all up in there. So I look like a crazy person. Can you imagine if I left my eyebrows like that? And then I go back through them the opposite way. And I just smooth down. And then I fluff the little fronts that I don't have. See the difference? Just hold your eyebrow up. I was gonna say hold your eye up. Just not hold your eye up. This eyebrow's longer, so this one looks even more crazy. Do you guys see that? Like, what the heck? That looks insanity. Okay, let's fix that. And this one really doesn't have any front, so fluff the non-existent front. Okay, so there's the eyebrows done. I like to do a more natural eyebrow. Sometimes I do fill in my eyebrows, depending on the look or where I'm going. Because, as I said, I don't really have any fronts of the eyebrows because I pluck them off. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, actually for the eyes, guys, I'm just going to go back in with this brush here, which is another Morphe brush. It's just like a flat kind of brush here. I'd actually say you could use this for concealer as well and that kind of thing. I'm just going to take it and put black right on the top. And then just do right along the edge. Oh, lucky eyelash. Perfect. You guys can see the difference there. Just like a little bit of smudginess. And I find I'm liking to use black eyeshadow rather than eyeliner. Just because it's less of a harsh line. Okay, there we go. Sorry that took a second, guys, but gotta make them even. So it just gives a little more oomph. Okay, so now we're gonna do mascara. I'm gonna show you what I use, and then I'm going to speed through my mascara because no one wants to see me with my mouth wide open like that. So I am using the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara, and the brush looks like this. Similar kind of hourglass design to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'm just using a Revlon eyelash curler, just kind of a basic guy. Okay, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I did my mascara. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna finish up with highlighter. We're gonna do some highlighter, and we're gonna do some lips, and then we'll call it a day. So for my highlighter, again, I apologize. This is so dirty. I promise, guys, I am a hygienic person. I am going to be using the highlighter from the Quo Beautiful Your Face Powder Trio, which is the powder trio I use the blush and bronzer from. So that's the highlights that we're going to be using. And for my highlighter, I actually use this brush here, which is a e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. And it's just like a fluffy kind of brush. This just goes to show that actually what your brush says that it's for doesn't always mean it's what you have to use it for, as you probably could tell from a lot of the brushes that I used. They are not for what they say they're for. And I'm using them for something. Look at that, guys. Come on. Like, boom. Got you. Okay. That's just so good. I love this highlighter. So I usually just do my cheekbones, my nose, and then I kind of go in. It's a little bit harder with this brush. Like, you could absolutely use a different brush. I'm just a little bit lazy. And I don't like to wash that many brushes. So I usually go in the corner of my eye with this one too. In the corner though, I kind of just like you saw and kind of like twisted it so it kind of comes off because it actually is too big to fit in the corner of my eye. Yeah, and then just brighten my eyes, like you can see already that it just gave a little glow. So that's highlighter. So last step is lips. Now, usually I actually don't wear lipstick or lip anything because as you can see, I have quite a pigment to my lips already. This is my natural lip color. And so I don't really feel the need to put anything else on there. Also, I have a really hard time finding lipstick that doesn't do weird things because I lick my lips a lot. So it's a real issue I have. Let me know in the comments below if you have the same issue and if you have solved that issue. So I'm actually just going to use the Beauty Vault Lip Liner in some kind of color. In Beau Babe. These, I don't know where you get them. I actually got them from my mother-in-law, who gets a lot of subscription boxes, and she gave them to me. So I'm sure you can get them online somewhere. Actually, I'm just going to use a mirror for this because this camera it's too hard to do this on camera. Okay, so there's lip liner. I look crazy. That's cool. For lipstick, I'm going to go on top with the Fenty Beauty little guy here. And this is the matte lipstick in Mademoiselle. That's so small, I almost couldn't read it. It's kind of this like beigey kind of shade. Okay, guys, that is the final look. What do you think? Here's a little close-up of everything. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you liked that kind of video, the get ready with me makeup look, let me know and I can definitely do more of these. I have so many different looks that I could be doing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, go check out my website, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have so many more ideas to come. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, guys. Bye!